All right, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, January 25th, 2024. If you've not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get to it today. So markets here, gapping higher, but fading back most of the gains. So spiders here just are up 27 basis points. Qs are flat to lower. And the Dow and the Russell are managing to carve out a gain here. It's about 3 p.m., so coming into power hour here. Really a quiet day on the street. You know, we kind of talked about that. I brought this up early in the trading room. I said we might have just a kind of a quiet day, and that has been the case. Why did I think that? Well, we've got PCE tomorrow, right? That's a big deal. And then after that, we've got, you know, a stacked schedule next week. QRA, we got the FOMC, we got Apple earnings. I think Amazon, AMD, and Google. Also reporting, by the way, Google new all-time highs today for that name and Meta as well. So a couple of big tech names keeping this market up. Obviously, the big story of the day, everyone wants to talk about Tesla here. You're going to see Tesla taking a pretty good shot, down 12% on the day. And there was a time, not even really that long ago, where Tesla down 12% in a day would be, you know, that would be a gut shot to the market. The market would not like that. Their tech would be down. A lot of tech stocks would be down in sympathy to that because Tesla at one point was kind of the poster child for risk on, and it still is to a certain extent. But now that has become NVIDIA. And again, you're seeing these AI names. Again, NVIDIA, take a look at. Look at this. So KLA, 10 Core reporting today. They're reporting after the bell, and it looks like they've already reported, right? It looks like they reported here, and the market's just surging up because of it. Nobody wants to miss it's a chip stock and it's reporting. Nobody wants to miss these moves. There's fear of missing out big time. Look at Intel. They're reporting today. That stock is also up. So you're getting this, I mean, an AMD just getting a free, was up like 3% earlier, but another free 1% for AMD. So again, kind of the AI names, the semiconductor, the chip names, kind of offsetting some of that damage from Tesla. We did have some airlines this morning, AAL having a nice pop, so that did help out the transports. We'll talk about those a little bit later. But again, that's kind of the story today. It is a quieter day. I am looking to get into Tesla here. You are coming into a 618 potentially, so we could get a bounce here, but just be aware there's lots of rebalancing, stuff like that goes on when you have a big drop on earnings. Lots of eyes on this stock too, so it makes it a little bit trickier. I have a level. I don't want to give that out in here, but I am interested in getting involved in it. But pretty good dump today on volume, and we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. But again, that was kind of the fulcrum of the market. But again, AI and chips really just offsetting that right now. And then, of course, tomorrow, market just kind of in a pause mode here for that PCE number. So I believe that's that kind of explains a lot of the price action here. Are we going to get a dump if we get a hot number? I honestly don't know. At this point, you'd think, at this point, I would say, or in a normal market environment, I would say that we're going to get a dump no matter what the number is, just because we've run up into it. But we're also kind of in a euphoric market, euphoric environment. The market doesn't care. They just buy every chip stock, buy everything you can, as long as it's big tech, as long as it's chips. So it's almost like the market just kind of has this ability to ignore things right now. And that can go on a little bit longer. I don't know if that'll go on next week. Again, we got the Fed and we have the QRA. That's going to be big. So I think the QRA is bigger than the Fed too, because the Fed, what are they going to do? They're not going to cut rates. They're not going to tell us when they're going to cut rates. They might, odds for March might increase or decrease, but the QRA is going to be the big one. That's going to be, if a lot of that debt comes, and Yellen's got to issue $1 trillion. Okay, so, and a lot of that has to come through the long end. That's going to be put pressure on rates, and it's going to basically put pressure on the idea that the Fed's going to cut. So again, that's kind of the big idea going into next week, of the big thing going into next week. By the way, speaking of inflation, take a look at crude. So nice move here above 77. So it's going to be a little interesting to see how that goes on into next month. Up 3% here, and I think it's headed for $80. So yeah, a lot going on here. Anyway, market on the quieter side. Even if we do sell off tomorrow, Again, like I've said, I don't think the market's in danger until you close below 47.90. That would be a huge negative, and that would probably indicate that we're in corrective mode. Or if we have a high volume sell, meaning over 100 million shares on the SPY. Triple Qs here again pulling back, so finally getting a red day here after what, 5 in a row. So big move there for the triple Qs, but just down 15 cents, and they might even pop green by the close. There's still about 50 minutes left, but again, I don't expect it to be of much consequence. It's kind of a quieter afternoon here. Maybe if Tesla comes off the lows, that would help out the triple Qs there. Russell 2000 getting a bit up $1 on the IWM. Again, 3 days in a row though, right? Gap up, can't hold the gains. Gap up, can't hold the gains. Gap up, can't hold the gains. So that's 3 days of gap and crap type action for the IWM, and it just can't get through that 197.50 area. It would be it would be very unusual, I should say, if we were to do that a fourth day in a row, gap up and then fade. So I would think if we gap up tomorrow, it might be a gap and go on the IWM. Let's take a look at the RTY, because you can make a case here. So sometimes when you look at the futures, it gives you a little bit different perspective. You can make a case that you got a micro little bull flag there on the IWM, kind of just right beneath that 20. You get back above that, this thing can go higher. So Russell 2000, that's the big level. And we'll see what it does. Obviously, we don't want to see it roll over and lose to 50 and lose this pivot. Then you're going down to 179, 180. But right now, it's hanging in there. But that's 3 days in a row now. So again, I would think that's not going to happen 4 in a row. If it does, and they fade it in the morning, you could get rug pulled to the upside. I've seen that happen plenty of times. Dow here, again, same kind of look as the RTY, up move, and you're kind of just putting in like a mini bull flag. 380 is still kind of my master resistance, but we're consolidating beneath it. I'll try to redo the numbers here, but we'll see what we get tomorrow. Again, the PCE will kind of move the market and tell us a lot more. We could sell off, we could pump. I don't really know, honestly. SMH here, again, higher by 36 cents. Took out yesterday's high, but not going to close above it. But it looks like right now we will have a new all-time closing high, but not above the nominal high from yesterday. And we had pretty good volume so yesterday, and we did come off of the highs pretty good. So maybe a little bit of distribution coming into play in the afternoon yesterday. Again, I wouldn't make too much out of it just yet until we get some type of outside move. I don't think it'll be too hard to figure out where the top is in this. Usually when you go parabolic up, you go parabolic down, and it's, again, everything I said yesterday, I'm standing by that. So this is a euphoric market, and euphoria always happens at the end, just so you guys know. And the semiconductors are a very, very important industry group. If they start to fade, it's going to bring the whole market down with it. I said this about Tesla in 2021. People thought I was crazy. Tesla's going to 4,000 or 5,000 a share, whatever. It's become a tumor. Nvidia is a tumor. That's what it is. And with that bubble pops, it's going to become malignant. So anyway, let's get over to the IGV here. So again, up 5 cents. Let's not make a ton out of that. That can still consolidate and go higher here. If it does come down, 410 is your daily chart support there. Dow Transports, again, nice pattern starting to form here. Up move, 1, 2, 3, pullback. Again, you seeing this, right? A lot of these charts looking the same. There's the diamond. There's the RTY. So up move, little 1, 2, 3 pullback. And a lot of these sectors, and transports, again, if they consolidate, they can push higher. Pretty good volume there. AAL, nice move. LUV did have a gap in crap, though. That's a pretty good engulfing. So that one is definitely going to need to do some serious backing and filling. It's a shame. Really nice weekly chart pattern there, but just got way ahead of itself with that gap up this morning. Went into this area, and a lot of supply right there, apparently. So that did come in, but transport's holding up okay. And we'll leave it there. All right, let's get over here to interest rates. So there's, oh look, we're actually right on the 30-year right now, but we'll go to the daily. So again, let's go to the 2-year. So again, a little bit of a back off today, but again, this pattern here, up move, sideways, no problems there. 2s, 5s, 10s, 30s, they all look fine to me. Maybe do a little bit of consolidation here, but I think that the 30-year is going higher than most people think in quarter one. You guys know that. I don't need to reiterate it 1,000 times. XHB here, again, tried to break out earlier this week. Why didn't it do it? You're too extended from the 20-week moving average. Nothing to say it can't continue sideways, but It had to come back in. It's up 1.46% right now. Let's not make too much out of it. It's still in this range. Looks okay to me for right now. VNQ getting a bounce here. Remember that ugly outside candle yesterday? At least it's back above the 50 today. Well, this chart's kind of not that great there on the daily. The weekly is okay. I would prefer a little bit more of a firm look here, but if you get that moving average to catch up again, nothing to say it can't go higher in due time. I would not want to see a weekly close below 83.24. That would be a failure, and that means it's going lower. But right now, it's holding up, and we'll leave it there. XLF hanging in there as well, up 12 cents. It was down a little bit earlier. I still think there's a lot of resistance at basically right where we are, right where this white line is. Yeah, we're technically above it right now, but pretty good weekly pivot with a red bar above it. And I think we're still extended from that. Again, a lot of these charts look the same. Extended from that 20-week moving average. So I think it's not to say it can't go higher. I just think it's going to be hard for it to do that. What do you got? XLF up today. KRE fractionally lower. Well, it's down about 1%, which is not that big a move for KRE anymore. But still holding this moving average. Again, if this consolidates, what does this look like, right? Green, 1, 2, 3 pullback. Looks like it can still consolidate for another move up. Same thing with KBE. And then the broker dealers here just chopping around. That is still, weekly overbought. We touched on crude already. Again, 78 will be your short-term resistance. There's your 200. You've got a little kind of area right here. But there's a lot of CTAs that are probably covering right now. I think this doesn't have a lot of trouble getting up to 80. So maybe it has to do some backing and filling here. But you got the higher lows, and I did initiate a position yesterday. It was right around that 75 handle. I just couldn't resist with those higher lows there, but it is going up into this area. We'll see what kind of pattern it puts in, but it's definitely on breakout here. You're above this this trend line, little wedge textbook, and it shows the upside. So again, we're going to look for 80 bucks. Pivot, little breakdown area, and then if we go back to the weekly, right there with that trend line that has been a pretty good. It was a straight trend line, like right there, and then it became kind of a point of control for a while, and it still is. So we'll look for that area, 80 bucks or a pierce of 80. Doesn't mean it goes up there, in a straight line. You might have to stall out right there, but I do like the crude chart. XLE, nice outside move, kind of confirming what we're seeing in crude. Again, might stall out at the 50 MA right there, kind of coinciding with the 78 handle on oil. But the chart looks good right now for continued upside. Same thing with XOP and my OIH as well, up to the 303 area. You've got a little trend line that you're coming into here as well, so that may be a stall out. You can see we just tagged the 50, we pulled back. But you know what I like, though? You tagged the 50, you pulled back intraday, and then you came all the way back up to the highs. So that's a sign of strength there when you see that. Backing off of resistance and then coming right back up in the same day. So OIH looks good. And maybe if you can, flag up here, you get through that trend line, then you can go to 320. So OIH looking good. Uranium here via CCJ continuing to pull back there. Again, these are just bigger picture overbought. But again, no problems here in that market. Nat gas went all the way up to the 100 moving average here today, and then pulled back kind of an inside day here. I'm not going to make too much out of this until I see that rollover. It's going to be about 35-40 cents as of right now. So we're going to open basically at the lows on Tuesday. If we were to close right here, it's going to be very interesting to see how that shakes out. But it was up, it was down, it was all around. Inventories had a pretty good draw. A lot of the time that stuff's priced in though. All right. Dollar index here, again, pattern's the same, nothing's changed. This is poised for a move higher. It's 20 MA is caught up. That's going to 104.35. Will the market care? Oh, who knows? Gold here up $1.80. Nothing terrible going on here. The levels have not changed. I'm not going to reiterate it every single day. Silver here up 10 cents. This has got to get back above the 20. If it can't, I think it ends up breaking this pivot, and then you go down to that 21.50 area. That is a bounce level. Possibly even a longer term level. It was before. I did buy it right here before and made some nice money. But I would I think it does get down there again. So we'll see. But a little 1, 2, 3 bounce, and again, silver getting a bid. Let's leave it at that. Platinum backing off as well, down 2%. Palladium backing off, again, still holding that weekly double bottom. And then copper here, down just 2 cents, but it had a pretty big surge yesterday. So again, it can have a pause day. There's nothing wrong when you see that. All right, over to Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin, again, just trying to hold on to that 40,000 handle. Daily chart, you can make a case you're starting to put in inside bar bear flag. So just be aware of that. It's still very immature. It's still, not even, I wouldn't even entertain it yet. But, if this continues sideways here, it could be setting up for a move down. You guys know all I care about is 40,000 on a weekly close. If we're above that, it's safe. We're below that on a weekly close, then it's going lower. So it's really that simple to me. But big picture, it's still okay until that happens. All right, again, so just flipping back over here, some markets, again, just kind of in this range, kind of coming off the lows, a little bit of, I wouldn't even call it squeezing. It's just computers kind of bouncing it back up here off the flat line. Again, we'll see what we get tomorrow with PCE. In a normal environment, I would say that this is a sell the news no matter what the number is. But we are in a euphoric environment. Chips are just going higher every day. There's a huge chase going on. So be aware of that. Things can get more overbought and more extended than you think. And a lot of the time, the most amount of gains are made in the shortest amount of time at the absolute top. But, we are in euphoria and some of these chips. Just be aware of that. And again, we got to be cautious in this environment. By the way, volatility has been up with the spiders up 2 days in a row now. So it could be event volatility due to PCE. I don't know. Maybe. Looks a little strange, though. Anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow.